We're talking about large numbers, Jason. What's your best, let's just go, not year, but week in the industry? Selling
best week.
Best week.
So I started doing telesales for mortgage protection coming from the field about 2.5. It was just before COVID, about 2019, late 2019. The best week was actually a week before Christmas. I think it was in 2020, a week before Christmas. I did $28,000 over the phone.
$28,000. No, I didn't say a year, Jason. I said a week.
Per week.
I didn't say a month, Jason. I said a week. And he said, dude, it was a week. It was 28K, bro.
I didn't do anything that Friday. It was Monday through Thursday.
The 4 days.
4 days.
Hey, welcome back to the Power Players podcast. I got the ultimate virtual and phone sales power player. Some would call him a power player. Some would call him the GOAT of freaking phone sales. He would call himself a savvy producer, as he is savvily and savagely helping agents all over the globe with virtual and phone sales. Welcome back to the channel, Mr. Jason Richter.
Appreciate it, Cody. It's good to be here. This is awesome. Thanks for the opportunity. I appreciate it.
Yeah, you got it, man. I mean, for those that are jumping in and watching this thing, I'm telling you, listen to every freaking second of this. If there's ever an interview that will have straight bombs of value with tons of training, tons of tips, and deliver straight knowledge for about 20 to 30 minutes on how to sell large numbers. We're talking about large numbers, Jason. What's your best, let's just go, not year, but week in the industry? Selling
best week.
Best week.
So I started doing telesales for mortgage protection coming from the field about 2.5. It was just before COVID, about 2019, late 2019. The best week was actually a week before Christmas. I think it was in 2020, a week before Christmas. I did $28,000 over the phone.
$28,000. No, I didn't say a year, Jason. I said a week.
Per week.
I didn't say a month, Jason. I said a week. And he said, dude, it was a week. It was 28K, bro.
I didn't do anything that Friday. It was Monday through Thursday.
The 4 days.
4 days.
Dude, imagine if he had a work ethic. Goodness, no.
Yeah, no.
This dude works when he sleeps. He's cooking eggs for his kids on a Saturday and making sales over the phone. Tell him that story real quick. That's true, right?
Yeah, actually, I was in my son's bedroom with my computer on my son's dresser, in my pajamas, and making a few, like I had 2 or 3 appointments and made $7,000 in my pajamas in my son's bedroom, close my computer, and then go to the zoo with my son afterwards. So it was just super convenient. And that's happened a couple of times.
How many did you write?
7,000. Off those
7,000 while he's freaking flipping pancakes, bro. Like, who else does that? I mean, the real question, Jason, okay, let's keep it real, bro. The real question is, man, okay, the real question is, do people even know how to tell you no? Have you ever not closed someone?
Yeah, it happens.
No way.
I think it happened sometime last month. No, I'm kidding. It happens all the time. It happens to all of us, you know?
Yeah.
So I throw a lot of, appointments against the wall, work them to the best of my ability. And what works. There's more of a follow-up game. I mean, you want to try to do one call closes, but there's more of a follow-up game in telesales, and it's more convenient to do follow-up than doing the no be back face-to-face.
Yep. Well, okay. So here's the question. Okay. What is your system? Can you teach it? And can anybody do it? Can you help anybody produce, I mean, at least 5-10 grand a week? Let's talk about, just baby numbers to you. I get it. But there's people out there like, bro, I'll take a $250,000, man. I'll take a $250,000. Okay. Jason's got a bunch of checks in his office right behind him, sitting on the ground. Big checks. Some of them say a $250,000. Some of them say 300,000. Some say 450. Some of them say 575, 675, 1.7 million. Whatever those big checks laying around are, there they are. Okay,
Yeah.
they got somebody's name on them out there watching this. Whether you're in Puerto Rico, Sri Lanka, Kentucky, or Texas, right there.
Don't matter where you're at. You could be in your son's bedroom.
That's right. He's got some big old checks for you. Okay, can anybody do this, man? And what does your system look like?
So yeah, everyone can do this. If you have a phone, if you have some leads and you have the willpower to push through the ups and downs, anybody can do it.
Yeah.
I do have a system that I've been working on, like laying out, like, so I was introduced to Roger, Short, Chris, Zach. I think it was 2019. And I came to them and they said, how are you doing this? I'm like, I have no idea. I'm just doing it. So they're like, so Roger goes over to a whiteboard and he's like, okay, so when you get him on the phone, this is what you do, right? And then what do you do from here? I'm like, I was just nervous, not knowing how to answer, but this went red. And so it really brought to light to me. And I was like, I don't know my process. I don't know how to break this down for anybody. So they helped me unpack it piece by piece. And that's what they're really good at, helping people like lay out surface their potential and how they do things. Yeah. So I was able to go through and write modules and put together a course, and I'm actually almost done recording that course.
Yes.
So I can get that launched here in the next couple of weeks.
And that is what will become the Savvy Producer, right? Like that is the training system to help people around the world. Before we go to that piece, I had a real quick question, man. If someone's like, bro, I get it, he's the GOAT, and they want to learn, they want to connect, they want to talk, whatever, right? Is there like a email or a Calendly link or a phone number or a site? Like where can they reach out and talk to you? So
they can go to thesavvyproducer.com. And
is it THESAVVY producer.com?
Savvy Producer, yeah. And I think I have a redirect on savvyproducer.com.
Okay.
I can double check. But yeah, they can go there, sign up for the wait list for getting that course, getting access to it. So yeah, they can go there, get on the wait list for it. So that way we can send them some updates and let them know when the course is officially getting released.
Yep.
And then I have Instagram, savvy.producer, and then Jason.Richter17.
Yeah, I think I just tagged you in that one a second ago. Jason.Richter17. It's RICHTER 17. This is actually, if I can get it on, let's see. There it is. Jason.Richter17. Okay, boom, 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 boom. That's cool, man. I love it. This is, you also put out a lot of videos on YouTube and you're helping a lot of people. How did you learn how to do this? Like, did you just born and you just came out with a phone on and you were just closing everyone, or like?
I did. It was one of those play school phones. It was in my hand.
Where's it come from?
Well, I used to do mortgages. So I was used to working with customers and lenders, which now is insurance companies. So I had some experience selling over the phone with that. That was 2000 to 2008. And then I was introduced to insurance and was doing face-to-face 2011. So did mortgage protection from the very beginning, still do it. Got the hang of it now. So
and what would you say you average per week on the phone right now, or average before, whatever? When you're producing consistently and full time, what would you say that is?
Producing consistently about 20,000. So somewhere between 18, 20,000. Yeah. Gosh, and I'll issue about, I think it's 78%, and then my persistency is 93%. As far as the rolling 13-month consistency.
That's insane, bro. I mean, you probably win some carrier trips at that point.
Yeah, a couple. Yeah, went on that Cabo trip and then went straight from there to Hawaii. That was nice.
Dude, that looked cool, man. That looked awesome. That was fun.
Yeah, it was a great time.
I love it. That was American Amicable, wasn't it?
American Amicable.
Yeah, that's cool. What have you learned doing? What have you learned as you start to transfer this energy and this knowledge and this goatness, if you will, into other people? What have you learned as you're transferring this into other agents that are trying to get to your level, and you're trying to help them get past your level? Really, I mean,
yeah, a lot of people want to do it their own way and wonder why it's not working sometimes. So
yes.
just being coachable is huge. I mean, it's sometimes painful for people because they want to be innovative. And that was actually my trouble at first, is that I was trying to recreate the wheel a little bit when I was doing it in the field, but then I continue to follow the system they already had lined out and in place for me and other agents, and it worked better. And so yes. Same thing for telesales. I realized that at first, when I was doing the field for the first 9 years, 8-9 years, I was thinking to myself, how are you people doing? I mean, how would anybody do this over the phone? Like, you have to do this face to face.
So you thought that at one point? Yeah,
absolutely. And because I had probably a couple sales I would do over the phone. And I was like, I can't really read their, body language and really stay there until I get a yes. So, but when I started doing some final expense, I had a little final expense call center. I was trying to do some telesales with that. I was learning some techniques and how to take those techniques and apply it to my own business, my own personal production.
Yep.
And it worked really well. So I just started breaking down the system over the past year, and that way I can show the people. And to answer your question a little bit more, what I'm finding out is, it can be difficult for some people making that switch.
Yes.
They just got to believe in themselves and do it and stick through it. There's a guy staying on my team. He explained to me this pretty interesting thing. It's called the J when they first get started. So they have some quick success with it. And then they go down just like a J. They have some trouble. They get in their head. They overthink it. And then if they stick through it, they're going to go straight up just like a J. So you just got to push through the roller coaster there at first and not get in your own head and just continue to do the activity and make sure you're buying leads and sticking to it.
Yep. So. That actually makes a lot of sense too. That's a cool way of looking at it, really. That's unique.
Yeah. A lot of people have that quick success because they don't overthink it at first. And they're like, boom, boom, boom. And then they're like, okay, maybe I can't do this. Maybe that was a fluke. And then they quit. They usually quit at the bottom of the J.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point. And you guys listen, man, don't quit, man. Plug in with Jason. Do not quit, okay? Here was one thought I had, man, is the average telesell phone call for a lot of call centers and organizations is like, I would say on average about an hour to an hour and a half. Okay, I think we could probably agree. You've seen some of that. You've been around a lot of that. You've heard of longer. What's your average phone call length from beginning to closed to a sell?
So about average of 45 minutes.
Yeah, so a little quicker.
Yeah, definitely quicker. I mean, some people come in and they're like, yeah, just get me signed up. And it's like, I've got them done as quick as 5 minutes.
Wow. Seriously?
Yeah, that's serious.
What's different than the ones?
I even have the recording still. I could, show people.
You should put that in Savvy Producer.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's running through it pretty quick, but they're like, get me signed up. I want this. I know I need this. This is what I'm trying to do to protect my family. They're pretty much selling themselves. They know what they want. It's just taking an order at that point. There are those in there. Don't get it wrong. They're not going to happen every day. So you got to go through enough appointments to find, all the different types, quick ones, tough ones you got to do a lot of explaining. But it's about 45 minutes on average. You want to make sure you take the time so it's good business and that you're, explaining it to them and then being transparent with how the process works, how I'm coming up with these recommendations, and then take the app and get it in there.
It's good, man. I mean, there's a lot of agencies out there that do not have a system. This is one of the things I've learned a lot, okay, just about leadership and running sales teams and managing people, is most people expect people to figure out do you do whatever you want, just work hard, figure out the system, go make some sales, make some money, you'll figure it out. Or you put a manager in charge and then you let the manager do whatever they think is best, but the manager has no clue how to manage or how to help people or how to create a system. They're just a producer, right? And so I feel like a lot of people are lacking systems and accountability that they can get plugged into to have predictable, consistent success week in and week out. When you want to personally produce at a high level, it's not a roller coaster ride for you.
Yeah.
Is it?
It's not. I mean, if you take the emotion out of it, it's less of a roller coaster. You take the emotion, to take the emotion out of it is trusting the system and having belief in it.
Well, also your prospecting is very consistent as well.
Very consistent. Yeah. It's doing it every day. Like I broke it down into 3 P's of your day of personal production. Prospecting, presenting, and processing. And, 75% of your day is prospecting. You got to do it every day. You may have some requirements, some apps you may need to get, submitted, get that done, but do it during slow time and always make sure you're always looking for new business every single day to be consistent.
Yes.
So in the presenting about 25% of your day or 20% of your day, and then small 5% on processing.
I love that, dude. So you said 75, 20, and 5. Yeah. Prospecting, presenting, and processing.
Yeah. And then just hire yourself out of each one. Like, to reach consistently past 10,000 a week. Cause people come in and do pops 15,000. And then 2 weeks after that, it's 5,000. But to stay consistent there, you need to start finding some help, bring your system up to an adequate process, and you know what you're doing, you know what it is. You can explain it to a pre-qualifier or appointment setter, have them do the prospecting. So you're doing more of just presenting to people.
Yes.
So,
yes. I love that.
So
that's what's unique about what you're doing, man. I mean, so what's the biggest mistake that people are making with phone sales and virtual sales that you've learned, that you've noticed that you do, that you just stopped making the mistake?
It's emotionally buying leads and not putting in the right amount of activity. I mean, that pretty much how it is for any, especially life insurance sales, is not consistently getting a sufficient amount of leads every single week and deciding whether or not how much or if you're going to buy leads the next week, and then not resolving all those leads, maybe just cherry picking them and moving on. But you got to put in the right amount of activity and get closure to every single lead. And, don't hang on to leads past 3 or 4 weeks and keep, trying to get a hold of people that are never going to answer. And then your contact ratio goes down and it makes it tough. So just getting new leads and putting in the right activity, right amount of activity.
That's good.
So, yeah.
Dude, that's strong. That's I don't think people realize like how much you understand the just overall hierarchy of phone sales and like the phone call and the phone system. Like, it's just so good. It's so good. Like, you're just such a professional and an expert at what you do.
Appreciate it. I'm very system oriented. So sometimes I get too technical and I kind of lose them. So I have to break it down a couple of different ways. And just
how do you deal with that? Because I can see that happening.
Yeah, I try to I'm learning how to get an idea of how people think. Yeah, how where they're at in their business, where they want to be in their business, and help them get to that point, help them reach their goals. Yep. Not always giving them the answers, but showing them how to get them themselves so they do grow as a professional.
I did have one very, 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 very serious question.
Oh gosh.
You ready?
Not you, Cody.
No way. No way. Seriously though, who's better at selling mortgage protection and general life insurance over the phone than you?
I want my team to be. So I'm helping them get to that point.
No, I mean, but seriously,
who do I know now?
Is there anybody that's actually better at this than you are? Seriously.
I'm sure there is. I mean, there's got to be.
You just haven't found them yet.
Yeah. Again, I just haven't found them.
And I say that jokingly, but I also say that as like, you're really freaking good. Like here's why I say that. You guys listen out there, you're like, okay, this is a wild podcast. It's fun. It's cool. I get it. Jason's great, but he's really freaking consistent. Like he's almost like a robot, that just shows up and spits out cash and just vomits money every day. Right. In a weird way. Okay. And it just flows to him because he knows what the heck he's doing. And there's so many people that struggle with this piece of the puzzle, man. Like phones scare people to death. You're also not having to you've also made it easy on you. Like talk through your system and your schedule, how many appointments you run, how many sales you get from those, show rates, like that kind of stuff. Because you've also got to where a large majority of your week is just presenting. And you can't do 20K a week like you do if you're doing everything else.
Yeah, here recently, I'm seeing my production go down a little bit because I'm finding more people who need help, and the team is rapidly growing. So I'm trying to show that process to everyone else and finish out those videos. I mean, with a family of 4 and, putting in a lot of hours, trying to get time to get the system together for everyone and show them how to do it.
Yes.
But still, I still find time because what fuels my business is prospecting, and you got to be consistent with it. Like you got to be good.
So you're one call closing. Are you getting on appointments? Are you getting live transfers? Like how are you getting on in one call closing?
So sometimes I'll make the outbound calls myself, but I do have an appointment setter. She's wonderful. She's what helps me get to doing it consistently, 17, 20,000. Her name's Angie.
How many appointments?
How many appointments she does? So it's about 40 to 50 appointments to do a week like that.
40 to 50 appointments a week to do 20K a week.
But that could be someone who is rescheduled that maybe missed the appointment on Monday. It gets rescheduled for Wednesday or Thursday. Yeah. A lot of people's, we're talking to more of the working class versus final expense. So that 9 to 5, it's sporadic with appointments. So it's very heavy in the evenings, and you'll find some people in a good chunk in the morning too that are available. Yeah. So Fridays, a lot of stuff gets pushed till Friday, where people are off work. They stop thinking about work a little bit, and they can focus on meeting with their spouse and doing it over the phone.
Yes. I mean, one thing that's interesting, right? If we look at this, okay, 20,000 times 52 weeks. If you don't take any time off, it's 1,040,000. Okay. If we divide that by 52 again, we get back to 20,000. Now we're at 20,000. You take 20,000, you divide by 5 days. You probably work at least that. Okay. That's 4,000.
I just do 5 days and sometimes a few appointments on Saturday.
So 4,000 a day. And if you do 8 hours, which I'm sure you work a little bit more than 8 hours, if we spend an hour together, I just cost you $500. No big deal.
Yeah, that's right. I already sent you the invoice.
Okay, good. Perfect. Right. $500 an hour, right? That's just how you make $500 an hour in the insurance industry. Some people they're working 5 waiting tables, and Jason's making 500. Or they can make 15 at Chick-fil-A, or they can make 500 doing what you're doing.
Right. Yeah, it's great. I mean, it's convenient. I think some people get the wrong idea though. Sometimes they're like, oh, work from home. Oh, telesales. I don't have to drive around and pay expensive gas prices. Well, there is, it's different. You got to set aside distractions. You got to stay focused on it. People, when they work from home, there's too many familiar things and chores they want to do and family coming in and interrupting. I'm sure field agents still who in mortgage protection set appointments from home, they probably, have some of the same challenges until they get out in the field and run the appointment. So it's just about staying focused and knowing what you got to do and tightly stick to a calendar throughout the entire day. I have my calendar in front of me, like every, 10 minutes, 5 minutes, trying to check to make sure I know where I need to be, and block your time for making phone calls. Like Don't just say, I'm gonna make phone calls this evening. Put it on your calendar. This is my call block for making phone calls. So sticking to that calendar that way, because the day goes by fast. So you got to be moving. You got to, I mean, speed's the name of the game. So
yeah, that's right. We shared your Instagram. We shared Savvy Producer. Is there like an email if they have like a question or they want to ask for a resource or some help or something?
Yeah, jason@savvyproducer.com.
Okay, boom. All right, what advice would you give, real quick, last question? You've been freaking phenomenal, by the way. Like, if you've loved today's episode, let us know in comments. If you love it so much, okay, I'll even commit to doing this. If you guys love it so much and you blow up comments so much, I will make Jason get on a webinar and unleash his whole system for free to the world. Okay.
Yeah.
That's pretty intense.
Okay.
That's pretty intense.
I'll
pay. I'll have to probably give him some money. Okay. I get it. No big deal. Okay. So we may do that. Right. But you've got to let him know how good this freaking was in comments and blow his inbox up, his Instagram, his website, jason@savvyproducer.com. Dude. Last question. Okay. As I'm finally going to get to the last question. Last question. Very, 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 very serious question. Okay.
Gosh.
Last question is, what advice would you give to someone out there that wants to get good at phone sales, but they're truly struggling and they just feel like they keep hitting their head against the wall and they cannot figure it out? Since COVID, they've wanted to get good at this, but they're just kind of all over the place.
Be careful where you spend your time and money. Okay. Your time is your money too. So it is very important to follow a system. Everything about selling life insurance we've like perfected pretty much selling life insurance, whether it be the phone, the field, final expense, mortgage protection. So there's a system out there. I'm hoping that, you know, my way, it's just a way, but I've done a lot of different things to try things out. I hope that helps people get aligned with spending their money and time where it needs to be. I'm sure there's some people who are good at telesales out there for mortgage protection, and you know, you just got to find someone to follow. You know, I'd be happy to show people how to do it, and they can learn from me if they want. I want, you know, everyone to have a chance of becoming a savvy producer and get as many people to that point, because there's plenty of business out there. In the system that I put in place and the course that I'm working on can be a universal course for selling life insurance, just general life insurance, or final expense. So, you know, just find some good leadership, a system to stick to, and you know, I'm going to put some good material out there that is going to be on social, some clips for like 2 minutes, just some pro tips. I'm going to do some more of those when I'm finished with this course. I'm going to give some coaching, some mentorship, and there's shadow days. Like what I do for my team and for other people who are outside my team that want to participate is I do dial days. And I literally run making phone calls and my entire presentation over Zoom. And I share the audio from both the customer and myself so they can hear me go through the entire process.
Yes.
We usually have about, 10 people on that, throughout the day coming in and out. So
that's good. That's smart. Like if you guys want to jump on those things, man, let him know, hit him up. He'll actually physically show you what he's doing, how he's doing it, how you can do it too. Dude, Jason Richter, you're the GOAT. I appreciate you. Let's all
appreciate you.
All bow.
I appreciate you, Cody.
Telesales GOAT. Jason, you're the GOAT. You're a beast. Thank you for your time and thanks for sharing your knowledge, man. Go hit him up, savvyproducer.com, Jason at savvyproducer.com, and Jason.Richter. Boom. Thanks, Jason. Hey, if you enjoyed this, I got another one you're going to love. It's right there. Click on it. See you in there. Welcome back to the CA YouTube channel. I love finding special guests that know special information and that can help everyone as they are trying to blow up their business. This cat I got today, okay, he may not even love being called a cat, but I'm telling you, this dude is impressive. He is cool.